Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Carly of Gnarly Carley Gaming, and today I am off the couch that I normally sit at. It is on the other side of this shelf, because today I am starting a series of videos where I'm going to be redoing and upgrading some of my game spaces. And today I start with art. I'm going to be getting a new board game table, I'm getting like new shelving and things like that. But one of the other things that I've been lovingly gifted are these new, essentially, magnet sets that work in tandem with board games in order to take them from shelf to your wall, which can add both a splash of like beauty and color to a space, but also free up some game space. And so how I have my games organized is largely by type. I have a lot of like my Euro games over on that back wall behind where we sit. And over here, there's a massive shelves that are a lot more of my family-friendly games. And so I wanted to upgrade this space, bring a little bit of the game boxes into art and accessibility here, and I'm going to show you how it works. I'm pretty hyped. So one of the reasons I wanted to start here in redoing things is I'm fairly out of space. So if I like show you this way, all of this is pretty packed out. It's a lot of stuff. And so what I'm hoping to do, oh goodness, hey, what I'm hoping to do is to get some of this shelf space freed up, but also showcase games. And a lot of my friends, including like my friend Kenzie, have taken game boxes and put them up on the wall as art, especially as expansions come out. So she got the big box for Wingspan, for instance, and then took the base game box and rather than throwing it away, since it's a beautiful game, hung it up. And the cool thing about this accessory, it's called the Wallzap kit, is that it lets you do that, but with games you're actively using. So it can be used as storage as well as art. So you can hang games that you are playing and love and not just ones that have expansions or that you're okay with just turning into art and burning the rest of the box. And so I'm going to show you how you do that. There's basically a mechanism that keeps the lids together so it doesn't just fall out, contents and all. And then another really strong mechanism that they've designed to hold the game up onto the wall. So I'm gonna do that. And I think what I wanted for the family-friendly ones is there's a ton of games from AEG and Flat Out Games that are around the same size, and I was hoping to hang those because I think they're just really beautiful. So the newest one I got was the Cascadia expansion Landmarks, and so I thought maybe Cascadia itself could go onto the wall with landmarks included inside. And so I'm going to put that up, and then I thought maybe what would look good with it are Let's Go Japan and Calico. And the goal of that is also to free up space here because I have new ones like Fit to Print and otherwise that can then lovingly sit a little more comfortable, but also because I can enjoy these. These are beautiful little games, so being able to like showcase them, I'm thinking we'll stagger them or something like that up on the wall will be a really nice look, but we'll see. So these are the two major pieces of this kit. This is a giant magnet that's going to sit on the back of the box, so underneath all of the game contents. And then this is the giant magnet that it will end up clinging to that will rest on the wall. Now, they've given me a bunch of reusable and really sturdy command sort of strips, so I can try these out and retry them out. And so I could have already tried this out and clear the wall and now show you guys how it works. But they're all designed like so to be hung up on a wall with screws. Very simple process, 2 screws it can sit. What this does is it just allows the wall mount to hold more weight, which is why they ended up going with this design rather than the strips that they originally designed to be really sturdy. And so I'm gonna show you with the strips just so I can piecemeal around it. But this is truly how the game functions, is you'll just put 2 screws in the wall, hang this up, and then the rest is the same. Because these won't be included in the kits inherently, though they are hoping to eventually have an option that lets you guys do the stickery ones too, I'm gonna go ahead and do this and get these pressed on, and I will be back with you to show you the rest. So, that is done. Woo! And screws will be easier than that, but that is what I'm rocking with. And so now we have these little simple black magnets on the wall. They don't look that exciting, but what they will be is board game art / storage shortly, and I'm hyped to show you. So because I have the sticky kind, so I can show you instead of screws that would just be easily placed and ready to go, I have to wait 60 minutes, but I'm gonna come back and then we're going to hang up some art. In the meantime, I'll show you how to make sure the boxes stay together. So while those are getting all set, I'm going to essentially show you how to get the boxes in order to be hung up. And it really involves these magnets, which are going to help keep our box lids closed, these giant magnets that are going to basically adhere to the back of each of these boxes to adhere to the magnet on the wall, as well as a couple protective stickers, so as we're doing these things, we're not damaging our box. And now all of these are big old magnets that are very, very sturdy, and they all come wrapped like this, but for reasons that will become clear as I show you how I take this out, I'm just not going to embarrass myself for the duration of an entire video, and so I've already unwrapped the ones that I needed. If you have more grace than me, then this will be an easier process for you. But essentially how this is going to work is you can take your contents out lovingly or not so lovingly if you're me. Thankfully, Calico has this little baby insert, so I'm just gonna pop out everything with it. Maybe. You know, this was easier when I practice it. You guys get it. All sorts of raw and basic from me. So now we just have the box lid and the bottom of it. The first thing we're going to do is magnetize these boxes with these little magnets because we want the lid to hold tight together so that when it's hanging up, things don't fall off and fall everywhere. These are going to be fully packed out games. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have magnet on either side and then magnet on each of the lids so that when we go ahead to close it, it will be good to go. And so what we're going to do is we will end up placing the magnet about the middle of the box and then use this little white piece just to raise it up a lip. So that way it can cinch with this. And we'll do that on both sides so that way it has just a little bit off the base. Ooh, strong magnets. But first, what we're gonna do is they give you a little bit of a protective tape. And that's just because this is essentially going to work like a command strip would. And you don't necessarily want that to go directly against your cardboard box because it could rip if you ever wanted to take it off. And so, ooh, those are the magnets cinching. But this is essentially to protect your box in the process because maybe you change your mind about what you want as you go, and this just gives it a little protective layer. There we are. And so now I will pry these apart, place this roughly here, and I'm gonna center it as best I can. Again, when they showed me how to do this, they measured it out. I like to do the lazy girl method just because I think these kind of things should be able to be done with minimum effort if you tell me that it can be. Great. And then I will quickly do the other side. And now we have two little magnets ready to roll. And I'm gonna check which ends I did this on. I did it on top and bottom, so I will do the same thing with the Calico lid, so that way it faces the way I want it to. And so on this case, what we're going to do is we want it to essentially match up to the base of that down here. So that's gonna be the touching right at the tip there. So that's where we're going to prep our magnets to live. And so here we are. Protective layers. And you can measure this out too, just roughly where it will be. But the beauty of this end is you have the magnet to help guide you. And I would recommend doing that is, so as we put this here, the magnets are already right there and there. And so we can take the magnet and it should be able to like easily, yeah, it's pulling my hand towards where it wants to live. And And so you can see it basically snatched right into place. I'll usually give it a little bit of a wiggle to where I think the center is, and then let it find its happy home there. You'll see that even in this case, like the box lid doesn't go quite down to the bottom, which is why I use the little white strip to make sure they still like line up properly, because a lot of lids will do that. And now we'll do the other side. So unsteel the sticky, let it happily find its home. It really will want to. And then cinch it closed. And now you have a box lid that really likes to remain on. Now that the magnets are in place, the last thing that we're gonna wanna do is get this sucker on. And this is super easy. There's a little transparent film that you can pull out just like any other sticker. And you're gonna stick it into the bottom of the box to hang. You'll notice that this one fits fairly perfectly, but it doesn't need to in order for these to work. I've used it on a lot of bigger boxes. I've actually already hung up Kanban by Lacerda, and I just kind of stuck it in the center or the top, depending on exactly how you want to hang it, and it works just as well. So, a little bit of love. I wasn't told to push these as aggressively as I do, but I just like to have that peace of mind. I treat them like cheap command strips, even though I know they're not. Ooh. And then this one will be all ready to go. So the bottom magnet is on. I'm gonna cinch this with the magnets that we made, and it's really tight. There's just not any drift at all. And then that will be all ready to hang up. Yee-yee. I'm excited. Okay, so we are all set. I basically magnetized the heck out of all of these 3 games, and now I'm ready to hang them up. That has been sitting for a hot minute and they're ready to go. And so just how easy it is to cinch. And these are fully stacked out with all their bits. And oh gosh, and you'll see like I'm struggling to like adjust because there's a big old magnet there, so being able to maneuver and move them about is doable. But when you take them off the wall, what you'll do is you'll kind of tilt down to kind of release the magnet and then move. So I'm absolutely able to adjust these a little bit, and I might want to. I think I might actually move this one down a little bit. You can measure out your boxes and see what works for you. But essentially, this is full storage for my games. And I'm pretty excited about it. Because maybe a little further down will be nice. But yeah. So now these are not only off the shelf, but on the wall, and I get to showcase all the art of these games that I love. And so let me just get out of the way to just kind of showcase what that space looks like now. Obviously, the games that appeal to you might be different than the ones that appeal to me. I like this as kind of the family-friendly, fun, like poppy corner. Over by my whiskey barrel, I started to hang up some of those bigger Lacerda games like On Mars and Kanban, because I think their aesthetic matches that space. But one of them that I'm really excited to hang up is Sleeping Gods, which is a campaign game that I've played that is just like an utterly beautiful cover. And so what you want on your wall, whether that's just like your family favorites, these are games that we pull out all the time. These are our quick and little ones that we do at the end of any weekday night. So being able to just whoop, right off the shelf, and it's fully stocked out with all of the bits inside and get right to our table. There's something really like exciting and beautiful about that to me. To just be like, this is where the thing I love lives, and I get to see it and I get to use it. It's a functional art piece. And you know, like games have grown so much over the last decade. Now there's so many games that are beautiful masterpieces in themselves. Game art is gorgeous. And so being able to showcase that love is a beautiful thing. And so I'm hyped about this. Obviously, if you're gonna fight me in terms of space efficiency, this is not the equivalent of having a shelf in this space, but I already have a shelf in this space. And I like what I have here. I have like my mini painting and some extra little games, and then this is here. And so being able to highlight some of our favorites that are going to live there, as well as to hold them and store them securely, is really cool to me. So I'm pretty jazzed. I was really grateful Wallzap sent these my way, and if you're interested in checking these out for yourself, whether that's to hang your games or just to get the magnets to help keep your games closed, they're really well designed and I just kind of love it. I'm in a rental space, so I can't make this space my own in a million different ways, but this is a cool little feature of some of the stuff I love most. So I'll be returning to couch tomorrow to talk about one of the games I've loved the most this year, but I hope you enjoy some of my geekery as I share with you a little bit of another love of mine lately, which has been redoing and curating my space. So I've got a big haul coming. I've got a new table coming in a couple months, and I'll share those with you as it comes too. But yeah, check these things out. The creators are really lovely people, and I think it's a really charming addition to a home and a game room especially. So that's it for me today. Thanks for navigating my chaos with me and being a part of my world. I will see you all soon.